Cybersecurity and Cybercrime Forensic Specialist Group. Throughout his career, Professor Pantami has demonstrated a deep commitment to advancing digital transformation, cybersecurity, and innovation. His leadership roles in international organizations such as ITU World Summit on the Information Society, United Nations, African Union, and ECOWAS have further solidified his reputation as a global thought leader. We are honored to have here with us Professor Isa Ibrahim Pantami to give us his keynote address.
Advisor, senior military officers here present, my colleagues and friends in the cybersecurity, officials of the International Information System Security Certification Consortium here present, Nigeria chapter. Good afternoon to all of you, and may peace, mercy, and blessings be upon you all. Permit me to begin by commending the effort of our colleagues in the International Information System Security Certification Consortium Nigeria chapter for organizing this very important conference taking place today in Abuja. The effort of our colleagues is highly commendable. Furthermore, I also commend their effort of choosing a very important topic to discuss here today. That is enhancing cybersecurity synergy, uniting experts for a safer digital world. This theme is very important because the essentiality of synergy in enhancing cybersecurity cannot be overemphasized, because no institution, country, or individual can have a safer society without synergy. That is practically not possible. Furthermore, I personally appreciate our Nigeria chapter for inviting me to serve as the keynote speaker for the conference. As one of you, I am most appreciative, and I want to give my commitment that I will always be available to ensure that we support our Nigeria chapter. Because what you have been doing is by implication to represent all of us. We are super busy, but we are grateful that we have our colleagues that are willing to continue to bring us together to discuss about this very noble profession that is the cybersecurity. Why the topic is important: enhancing cybersecurity synergy, uniting experts for a safer digital world. It is because of the fact that the total number of cyber attacks that are taking place day in, day out globally are more than the total number of physical attacks that are taking place. I will cite only two statistics. Number one, which has been released by the Microsoft and Exploding Topics, that each day 2,200 major cyber attacks are taking place globally. Another statistics by the Microsoft and Exploding Topics says that each and every day, major and minor attacks, including individual attacks to our email, hacking our accounts, every day, approximately 600 million attacks takes place. 600 million attacks, major and minor ones, including individual attacks. If you look at this total number, you will strongly agree with me that 600 million attacks are not taking place every day globally. It is practically not possible. In addition to that, beside our physical wall, where we currently have around 8.2 billion people in our physical wall, according to the United Nations World Health Organization, among others. We have around 8.2 billion people. But if you look at our digital world is the world that has recently been established, been developed by the internet and also by the industry 4.0, because the industry 4.0 is all about the digitalization of the world. Beside our physical world, where we have 8.2 billion people, now another new world has also been established, has also been developed. That is our virtual world, our digital world. Are you following? And as of today, according to the International Telecommunication Union, in this virtual world, we have approximately 5.7 billion people. In percentage-wise, 69% of the entire world population is part and parcel of this digital world. So the issue now, we have a virtual world that has been established with around 5.8 to 5.9 billion people. And these people are interconnected. Where in the physical world, with 8.2 billion people, you can hardly bring 10 million people in one place. You can hardly. The highest gathering today in the whole world, usually in one place, is around 2 to 4 million people, 2 to 4 million people in one place. But in this virtual world, you have around 5.8 to 5.9 billion people that are interconnected in one place. Look at the implication. In the physical world, you are around 4 million, but now you have almost 6 billion people that are interconnected. And this interconnection allows criminals to perpetrate and perpetuate cybercrime irrespective of their location. Someone may wish to sit in Asia, in Latin America, in Europe, or in any part of Africa and commit crime. He doesn't require any visa. No, he cannot be subjected to any immigration, but he will virtually visit your country and commit crime from another location. This is to show to us why it is necessary to continue to prioritize discussion on cybersecurity, synergy in cybersecurity, and how to establish a safer world today. According to the Maryland University, after every 39 seconds, a cyber attack takes place in the world. After every 39 seconds, somebody or an institution or a government is being attacked somewhere in the world. And these cyber criminals are not subjected to any form of investigation or screening. They can sit in any part of the world and commit crime. And this is why it is important that we prioritize discussion, bringing stakeholders together to ensure that we have a safer world, a safer digital world, and by implication, a safer digital Nigeria, which should be our priority. Our country is our priority. Are you following? So this is why it is important that stakeholders, experts, government institutions, private sector, among others, meet from time to time in order to discuss this very important topic. In cybersecurity, awareness is key. Awareness is your first line of defense. Without awareness, then it is difficult to defend. And secondly, it is important to always remember that the cost of prevention is less than the cost of recovery. It is always easier to protect than to recover. It is indeed very important to remember. And that is why Warren Buffett, most arguably the most successful investor globally in recent history, he said, because of cybercrime today, a reputation of 20 years can be destroyed in few minutes. An institution with a reputation of 20 years, that reputation through cybercrime, it can be destroyed in 2 minutes. They can be scandalized within 2 minutes. So it is important to know, even for the sake of protecting our reputation, our institutions, our personality, among others, that we prioritize discussion on cyber security. And this is indeed very important. Furthermore, with regards to synergy, as I earlier mentioned, no institution can protect cybersecurity alone, not only in Nigeria, globally. It is all about coordination and collaboration among experts, institutions, organizations, and individuals. So cybersecurity is all about bringing stakeholders together to work together. But no single institution can achieve it alone. Take, for example, in Nigeria, you will discover that we have so many institutions that are working to ensure the safety of our cyberspace. But they meet from time to time in order to compare notes and see the progress being made. And this is indeed very important. And in order to support this effort, while in office from 2019 to 2023, we came up with so many initiatives to support the cybersecurity of our country. Brother Abdul Hakim Ajijola was part of the effort being made at that time. We established a brand new SAT at the National Information Technology Development Agency. We established the first ever cybersecurity incidents and response team at the Nigerian Communications Commission. In addition to that, we came up with the initiative of NIN and SIM registration. Furthermore, I personally developed the first draft for the Nigeria Data Protection Act, and we established the commission in 2022, and the law establishing the commission was assented by Mr. President in 2023. All these initiatives are to support our cybersecurity and to ensure the safety of our cyberspace. In addition to that, when it comes to the national identity, which is very important, I was directed to supervise NIMSI towards the end of 2020. At that time, the entire database of NIMSI was around 39 million people, while the institution was in existence for 13 years before then. But from 2020 to 2023, I was able to catapult the database to over 100 million citizens, an increase of 61 million citizens in the database within the period of less than 2 years. Why? Because digital identity is key in order to ensure the safety of our cyberspace, and this is indeed very important. And recently I read, in the last 2 years, NIMSI has also increased additional, maybe around 19 to 20 million. But at that time, within less than 2 years, we increased more than 61 million people into the database. We must ensure that in the next few years, at least 99% of our citizens are in our national identity database, because based on the Nigeria Identity NIMSI Act 2007, as amended, it is the central database in our country. All other institutions that are managing data can only make reference to NIMSI database because by law, it is the institution that is mandated to be the coordinator of our national identity. That is why if you look at the composition of NIMSI governing board, you will discover all the institutions collecting our data are members of that governing board, including CVN, road safety, immigration, JAM, and many more. So, and I think this is very important in our country to ensure we encourage our citizens to get enrolled into the national database and have their national identity. In order to achieve synergy in the digital world, certain steps are to be taken. Number one, as I earlier mentioned, creating awareness. We must agree to be team players. Each and every institution of government, each and every institution, even in the private sector, let us agree and work together, that no one can achieve alone. It is important that we come together, work together in order to ensure that we have a safer digital world. Creating awareness is key. Number two, cybersecurity cannot be implemented in isolation or through trial and error, but rather there are standards that must be respected, like NIST, National Institute for Standards and Technology. It is a framework that is important when we are making an effort to ensure that there is collaboration and coordination. And in that standard, you will discover that stakeholders must work together. And this is indeed very important. Stakeholders must agree to work together. Number three is bringing government, private sector, and others on the same table. For example, today, you will discover that the major institutions managing our broadband are in the private sector, while government is the regulator. So there is no way government can achieve alone. Government and public institutions must work together. Whenever you are having a discussion or coming up with a regulatory instrument or policy on cybersecurity, these institutions in the private sector must be part and parcel of that discussion, because nothing can be achieved without involving them. Number four, investment. Cybersecurity requires huge investment. In addition, if you want to establish synergy, there must be an investment. In Africa, unfortunately, most of our countries are not interested in investing in IT and cybersecurity. Most of them are not interested, except maybe very few of them. Very few of them in North Africa and Southern Africa. But mostly in West Africa, East Africa among others, the investment we make in IT and in cybersecurity is highly, highly insufficient. It's insufficient. Another one to ensure synergy is making sure that we train the trainers. We train people that are involved in making sure that we have a very safe digital world or digital Nigeria. Without training, you cannot achieve synergy and you cannot have what we can call a safer Nigeria. There must be training and retraining, because the entire industry 4.0, cybersecurity, artificial intelligence, robotics, quantum computing, cloud computing, nanotechnology, biotechnology, augmented reality, virtual reality, Internet of Things, among many others. Without training, there is no way we can achieve a safer digital world. Because regulation requires law. Cybercrime doesn't require any law. Cybersecurity experts require a law in place to practice. Cyber criminals do not require any law. That is why it is being said that cyber crime is a dispute over light, while cybersecurity is a dispute over law. We know how difficult it is to enact a new law, a new legislation. So this is the situation. You are dealing with people that do not respect any law. And it is always easier to destroy than to build. It is much, much easier to bring an institution down than to establish a new one. So that is why being proactive is important, and that cannot be achieved without training and retraining. Training and retraining is a very important component of having a safer digital world, in addition to having an excellent synergy in order to make sure that the entire world is safer for all. And this, I think, indeed is very important. Once again, I commend the effort of our colleagues for organizing this, and I do hope that this discussion is not going to be only restricted to just theoretical and academic presentation. Whatever we discuss, let us come up with a communique, convey to relevant institutions, both in government and in the private sector. And we continue to meet from time to time to review the progress being made and see how we can achieve a digital and a safer Nigeria, in addition to achieving a safer digital world. Once again, thank you very much for inviting me to serve as the keynote speaker. May the Almighty continue to protect the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Thank you very much for listening.
In 2021, he was appointed as the first professor of cybersecurity at the Federal University of Technology, Owerri. In 2024, he was appointed as the co-chair by the African Union through the African Scientific Research and Innovation Council to develop the fourth industrial revolution policy and strategy for the continent. He is a certified fellow of the Chartered Institute of Information Security, United Kingdom, a fellow of Nigerian Computer Society, a fellow of the British Computer Society, as well as fellow of Cybersecurity and Cybercrime Forensic Specialist Group. Throughout his career, Professor Pantami has demonstrated a deep commitment to advancing digital transformation, cybersecurity, and innovation. His leadership roles in international organizations such as ITU World Summit on the Information Society, United Nations, African Union, and ECOWAS have further solidified his reputation as a global thought leader. We are honored to have here with us Professor Issa Ibrahim Pantami to give us his keynote address.
Advisor, senior military officers here present,